Hi friends, I'm Pastor Diana. Welcome to a daily devotion. I'm so glad you've paused in the midst of a day to spend some time with God, reflecting on Scripture and to focusing yourself on how God is at work in your life. This week, we are exploring, wrapping up our Lenten journey called Pivot, where we are considering what it is to move from broken to whole. And this Holy Week, as we are preparing to celebrate Easter, we are considering what it means for God to make us whole in our lives. And one of the ways that we are doing this is I'm sharing with you an experience that I had in Santa Barbara, California. When I was on sabbatical last year, my husband and I did something that I never knew I always wanted to do, which was take a glass blowing class, where two amazing people invited us into their studio and taught us how to make a piece of glass. And I actually got to make this vase right here. It is with its flaws and everything, but I made this. And so every time I see it, I think about just this amazing experience that I have. So the first thing that you do is you take a big long pole and you stick it into the furnace, and you take a little bit of this, just a little bit of this molten glass that's been heated up to a really high temperature so that it's malleable. And then what you do is you go and you put other pieces of broken glass, different colors. So here I have some like green and white and others. You put other broken pieces of glass that don't look really nice or anything, and you have to mix those together to bring the colors, to bring the beauty. And I think about that. We all have broken places in our lives, and many of those broken places are things that we don't think are beautiful, that we don't see how they might ever contribute, that they hurt, and perhaps they're scarred and they're ugly, but lots of broken places. But just like you took that piece of glass and you put broken pieces of glass, and that's what adds the beauty and the color, the same thing is true in our lives, that God uses those broken places, and those broken places are the things that help us be who we are, beautiful children of God. And I think about the story of Jesus that we have in the Gospel of John, where on Jesus' day of resurrection, he goes and meets the disciples. But Thomas, who we often call Doubting Thomas, but I don't like that, just Thomas, who I love, Thomas was not with them. And so he hears about Jesus, and he's a little skeptical, which I think is kind of how I would be. And so he says he's not going to believe until he sees the wounds on Jesus' hands and feet, and he can touch them. And then this is what our scripture says. So, after 8 days, his disciples were again in a house, and Thomas was with them. Even though the doors were locked, Jesus entered and stood among them. He said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. Look at my hands. Put your hand into my side. No more disbelief, belief." Thomas responded to Jesus, "My Lord and my God." I love that it was in the broken places, it was in the wounding, it was in the wounds that Thomas was able to recognize Jesus. It was by seeing those things, by knowing what Jesus had gone through, that Thomas was able to say and recognize God as my Lord and my God. And I think the same is true with us. Just like this vase would not be the same unless it had those broken pieces of white and green and other colors in it. You and I, we are not the same. Those broken pieces are a part of us, and we have to use them, incorporate them into us, and that's what makes us beautiful, and that's what makes us whole. And so consider today, what are the broken pieces in your life that you need to incorporate? What are the ones that identify you for who you are, so that you can know that they are a part of you? They are what has made you, and that they make you beautiful, and that they can be used so that others can recognize Jesus in you. What are those broken places? And how do they make you the beautiful person you are? May God be with you on this journey from broken to whole.